Hey, my Padawans, happy Friday night. Ice Pirates from 1984, directed by Stuart Raphael, starring Robert Urich, Mary Crosby, and Michael Roberts, and Angelica Houston. This film is a 1984 film that I'd never seen before, and this is a collaboration between me and Jason Callan. He suggested that I should watch it because I do love everything 1984, so I went ahead and bought the movie. I only got the DVD, and I got to watch it last night for the first time. I did not watch this movie at the movie theaters in 1984. I don't know why. It was probably out of print. I have no idea why I didn't see it. But I can't watch movies when I'm drinking. And I made a video last week where I said I was not going to watch it if I was drinking my Coors. So finally last night when I had some time, I watched it. Absolutely by myself, no interruptions. I had to cut off for a little bit here. I don't know where to start. So again, somehow I missed this movie in 1984. I don't know why. I have no explanation. Well, I've never seen this movie, but I did get to watch it last night, and I think Jason Callan is going to review it after my review. And let's start by the plot. The story, the plot. What is the Ice Pirates about? Well, okay. If you guys don't know, well, I'll let you know just a little bit of it. I don't want to get so much into detail. It's basically a bunch of pirates who are going around space, trying to find ice blocks, these giant ice blocks for water. There's a sort of like there's a limit on water, and water is what brings in the money. So water is very valuable, and so the pirates go around, boarding ships, pillaging, raping, stealing. From what I saw in the film, is just ice blocks, giant ice blocks, not really water tanks. I thought it was going to be more like water tanks. And so in the movie, they get to meet a princess. I'm going to spoil it because this movie came out in 1984. I have to spoil it. It's really hard to understand this film. It's really complicated. It's all over the place. They find the princess. The main guy, Robert Urich, his name is Jason the pirate. He falls in love with the princess. They have some war and some battles, and they end up finding the seventh planet that turns out to be planet Earth, that contains the water. So they do mention like a water world. They're looking for the water world, and at the end of the movie they get to planet Earth. So the water world was planet Earth. I don't want to go ahead and just say that this movie is absolutely terrible. Okay, I want to give it a fair review. Let's start by bringing up the things that I like about the film. I like the design. I like the design, the costumes. I think the costumes were really good. Like from, it reminds me of He-Man, Mad Max. The costumes were really original. I say that. The special effects were awful. The special effects were horrible. They had the spaceships flying around and you see the squares around it. it was not no Industrial Light and Magic. So MGM sort of messed up with the special effects, were awful. This is supposed to be some sort of comedy, sci-fi, spin-off of like Alien, Mad Max, Star Wars. I'm trying to be nice, okay? I'm trying to be nice because I know Jason liked this movie. There are some actors in there that I like, okay? Angelica Houston. I like Angelica Houston. Her role was really serious and good. She took it really, she did really good as an actress in this movie. And you had Mary Crosby. I like Mary Crosby. She's cute. She's beautiful. She played the Princess Katrina or Karina, something like that. And you got Robert Urich, who's like a TV guy. And Michael Roberts, like the only black guy in the movie. And then you have a lot of other actors in there that, like Ron, I think it was Ron Perlman was in the movie as another pirate. When I watched this film, it reminded me of a lot of Captain EO. And I know this came out in 1984, but Captain EO, I know George Lucas made Captain EO in 1986 for Disney. But there's a lot of similarities between Captain EO and the Ice Pirates. And I don't know if Jason or anybody else noticed it, but Angelica Houston is the bad girl in Captain EO. She's like the queen, And the robots in this movie sort of look like the robots in this movie. So I'm not saying that George Lucas stole the idea, but there's a lot of stuff in here that sort of makes like Captain EO, like the skeleton crew, like a pirate crew going around trying to, save the princess. So when I saw the movie, I thought, oh man, this has a lot of elements of Captain EO. But I know Captain EO was shot by later, by Michael Jackson and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. I want to be nice. I don't want to start off and just say that this movie is garbage. Okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be all, I don't want to do that. I do like everything that's from 1984. I'm a fan of 1984 film, movies, music, technology, clothing, everything. But I will say one thing. There is an exception. And that's this movie. Okay, I'll say I like everything about 1984 except for this. Okay, so this felt like a TV, like a really bad television movie, sort of like a TV show, like V. Remember V, like the aliens and the reptiles and the big, mothership. Sort of felt like a V ripoff. Like it was just a very bad production. Okay, now there is a lot of good actors in this film. There is a lot of good actors. You got this guy, John Mutasik, who's the guy that plays like the guy in the Goonies. Okay, so there's a lot of like Ron Perlman is in it. There's a lot of good actors in the movie. Okay. The problem with this movie is that it's bad. It's not funny. It's just really gross. I don't know why. I don't even know why this film was released at the movie theater. I'm trying to be nice to Jason Callan here because he's the one that, said I should watch this movie. Again, I like the premise. I like the story. Okay, you got some pirates. They're going around. They have to get the prince. Listen, it starts off that this Robert Urich guy. He plays this Jason pirate. He's like the leader of the pirates, and he wants to rape the princess. Again, I like her. I like Mary Crosby. I love her. She was like one of the 80s greatest. She's beautiful. But the jokes in this movie are ridiculous. Like if you were like a 2-year-old, you would probably laugh. Okay, if you were like a 2 or 3-year-old, maybe you would have fun watching this movie. The robots acting like dumbasses and idiots, and they got fart jokes, and they take a shit, and they're useless, and it's just really hard to watch this movie. Okay, I gotta be honest. And I don't want to take it all down because it's 1984. I'm having a really difficult time reviewing this movie, guys. Okay? You have they fall in love. Okay? The princess eventually kidnaps Jason, the Robert Urich character. They fall in love. They have a sex scene. It's really cringy. It's bad. It's so bad. I've heard that people say it was good, but no. I don't buy it. The movie is absolutely ridiculous. The storyline makes no sense. The special effects are awful. Again, the thing I like about the film is the costumes, okay? Some of the sets are okay. You got some really... The comedy was bad. I don't know who wrote this comedy, but it was so bad, guys. You had a joke about black people. You had a joke about rape. There's a scene in there where he asked, the pirate. He has the Michael Roberts, Michael Roberts is like the only black guy in the movie, and he's like the technical guy. Like he's the one that can fix the droids and hack the droids and the robots. And there's a scene where he says, "Hey, why is the robot black?" And he's like, "Well, he's one bad motherfucker." It's racist as fuck. Okay, it's not funny. The racist jokes are not funny. Okay, it's not like Blazing Saddles that was beyond its years. Now, when you compare like Dune 1984 to like this movie, there's no contest. Like this is like absolute zero compared to Dune. Okay. This movie is unwatchable. It's unnecessary, and it should be absolutely maybe erased from history. Maybe I should go back in time to 1984 and erase this movie. Should it be a reboot or a remake? Absolutely yes. Because the idea of ice pirates or, water pirates going around and stealing water to survive, like Waterworld, Mad Max, a lot of these. I love futuristic movies about the future, Should it be remade? Yes, it should be remade, with maybe Disney should make it. Because Disney makes amazing special effects, amazing costumes, amazing choreography. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, when you look at this movie, it's awful. It's awful. Now they try to explain something. Okay, look, there's an ending where they're going to a time warp and time speeds up and they're getting older. I think it's like, like every minute or 5 minutes is like a month. And there's like a baby born, and there's like they get older and they grow a beard and like big hair. And this movie is bad, so bad. You got these guys who are supposed to be like the Space Templars. These are the bad guys, right? The Templars, and they're the ones that have all the robots. And then you have the pirates who are supposed to, fight the Templars. and you got the princess. It's all convoluted. It was probably a good idea on paper. But when it came to making the movie, I know MGM has some problems, like maybe some budget issues. But that's no excuse for the ridiculousness, the racism, and the bad jokes. And you have robots taking a shit and farting. Okay, you have this alien, like a ripoff of Alien, like this egg, and this thing comes out of the egg, like the alien, and it's supposed to be space herpes. Oh, all right, guys. I don't think this movie should have ever been made. And to be honest, I love everything about 1984, but watching this was shameful. I wanted to turn it off. I can't believe I watched this garbage. Okay, and I'm trying to be nice. Because Jason said it was good and I was gonna like it, but this is one of the worst sci-fi films I've ever seen in my life, and it explains why I've never seen it. It's just really, and it's not about the act. The acting is okay. There's some good actors in there. Again, I can't blame the actors. I do blame the director. This guy Stewart, whatever his name is, Stewart. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Stuart Raphael. Oh, and there was other cameos in here that I don't even, like at this point, I don't even care, to be honest. Okay? There was John Carradine in here, okay? I really did enjoy, Robert Urich, okay, and Mary Crosby. I mean, they're the two, that make the movie kind of work. But, you got people complaining about Star Wars Episode 1 because Jar Jar was making all these jokes. These robots in this movie are hard to watch. Really annoying as fuck. It's just really bad. Again, and the jokes were not funny. They had a lot of old jokes, like people getting older and they can't, fight anymore, like they're in pain. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It's not even close to like Planet of the Apes. All right, not even close to like Crawl or Dune or anything like that. This is so bad, and I know people say it's so bad, it's good, but that's not true. Not in this case. And I think, I really thought this was a movie made for television because Robert Urich was on television, what was it, like Vegas or something? Like, I thought this movie was for television because it was so bad that I thought, okay, there's no way this could have been at the movie theaters. But I guess it was at the movie theaters. And I don't know who went to see this. I love sci-fi. But I can't tell you, I can't lie to you guys. I can't lie. I can't tell you that this movie was great. I can't. All right. This movie, again, the special effects were horrible. The script was awful. The jokes were flat and dumb. If you're 2 years old or 3 years old, you might like this movie. Like if you were like on drugs or a drunk, maybe I had to be drunk to like this movie, and that was my mistake. Maybe I had to be drinking like 30 Coors Lights. Maybe I would have liked this movie. I'm just being honest with you guys. This movie was crap. It's one of the worst movies I've seen. And it's not just because, hey, I love everything 1984. But I'm not going to lie to you. 1984 has some really bad, now I have learned. 1984 has some really bad movies. And this is one of them. I think that's all I'm going to say. The Ice Pirates is absolute garbage. It should have never been made. It was a disgrace to sci-fi. Star Wars, Mad Max, and all the films from the 80s is disgraceful. It should be erased from history. And maybe I should go back to 1984 and erase this crap. That's my review, and I think Jason is going to give you his review. My final is going to be thumbs down. Way thumbs down. Ice Pirates 1984. See you guys later, and may the force be with you. Bye.